We're talking to Mr. Eric Evans, the founder of Genesis, and Mr. Michael Pendleton, who is the executive director of Genesis. And of course, Mr. Evans and Mr. Pendleton, before we had our first commercial break, we were talking about some aspects of the Genesis program, which was founded by Mr. Evans. Mr. Pendleton, let's have you to give us some information relative to the incarceration of young people, because I think that for the most part, as has been said, we follow the people up to the prison gate, and after they get into the prison gate, we forget about them, and et cetera. But let's look at our young people. I mean, what does it mean to them to be incarcerated now? Let's talk about it from that perspective.
Well, you know, Dr. Haney, we briefly talked about the number, the 98% number. Then there's another greater number when you look at worldwide the problem in terms of the issue of delinquency, which is about 60% of the men that are detained worldwide, whether it be through a detention center or whether it be through a prison system, are repeat offenders. We believe that there's a reason for that. And a part of that reason is the whole incarceration process. That does something devastating to the young mind. And again, we were talking earlier about that box. One of the things that I think that is so important about the Genesis program is we help to empower these young men to operate outside of the box. Many times their box is their community. Many times their box is the mindset, their friends, and maybe even sometimes their family. So how can you excel if you're a young man and you've made a mistake, you're now in a system with an orange uniform on, and no one really says to you that you can be that architect, or you can be that computer technician, or you can be that music artist, or you can be that electrical engineer. What we do is empower the mind. We believe that's the first step. We believe that if we can get to the young man's mind, then that's key. So our program is geared towards knowledge, being able to feed knowledge to the young men. Many a times through our sessions, they understand where they are without us even having to tell them that. They come back to us and testify as to, hey, this is what I've always wanted to do, but no one has ever really said to me, hey, I can do it, and I've got a support base of somebody that can help me along the way.
And this is, Mr. Evans, what you mean by a program, and you've organize such a program. Let's talk about how you bring young men into that program and some of the steps that are taken in terms of moving them from one level to the other, what you're doing now in a real sense.
Well, right now we don't have any young men at our facility, but when the young men get out of the Juvenile Justice Center, they usually call us, because we like for them to make that first step. And even if they don't make that first step, we usually call them. And when they call us or we call them, first thing first, okay, what you want to do? We go out and we try to find them jobs, which is another reason why they go back to the Juvenile Justice Center, because they think they can't find no job. So we try to help them find a job, and we also get them prepared, get back off into schools. So if they've been kicked out of school, okay, since you can't go back to school, okay, we're going to get you off in this GED program. And once we get them off in the GED program, and once we get them a job and everything, and we start the process of teaching them how to change a mindset. Just because someone says something to you does not mean that they are disrespecting you. So we try to change their mindset like that, and we also teach them how to control their finances, not how to get in debt. And things like that, teach them how to work on computers, how to type up things, type up resumes,
very
how to prepare
practical
yourself.
kinds of things that they can use in terms of their own responsibilities.
And I mean, and also we might add that in addition to the vocational things that we're doing, we believe that you must not empower that young person without empowering the environment in which that young person lives.
Speak to that.
So very much so, we believe in making certain that that parent or that mother, that grandmother, that aunt, or whomever is that guardian for that child, that they're empowered along the process. Because if you're empowering that young person to excel, you now are nurturing a visionary. So it's very difficult for a visionary